Well, welcome everybody. We are back with another one of our 25 impact stories in honor of 25 years of ministry for Lyft. And back when we were deciding who was coming, the Murdochs, you guys have had a big impact on Lyft. And I think Lyft has had a big impact on you guys. It's going to be a little awkward if not. We're like, no, all right, we're done, I guess. And you guys kind of brought us a brand new demographic, or at least area. And we'll talk a little bit about that. So we wanted you guys to be represented as one of our stories. So thank you guys for coming in today. It's good to have you guys.
Appreciate it.
So let's go all the way back to, I always like this question. How did you guys even find out about Lyft Disability Network?
Make 'em Smile event in Orlando. We took the kids, and I had heard about another camp for families with disabilities, but it was in a different state or several different states. Mm-hmm. And taking 5 kids to another state by myself didn't appeal to me very much.
Didn't sound like any fun.
No. So I was something that I just dreamed that we would be able to do one day. And we went to Make 'em Smile, and there was a painting booth set up. And so my kids walked over to paint, and I was looking at the flyers, and I believe it was Andrew Vaca that was there. And he asked about camp, and I said, "Do you have camp?" Yeah. I said, "For the whole family?" Yes. And so that's where it all began.
Do you remember when that was?
That was 2014.
2014. That's encouraging to hear. We still go to Make 'em Smile, and we still have a painting booth. And we talked to so many people at that event. Now there's like tens of thousands of people. It's grown.
It's huge.
It's massive. And obviously we talk to way more people than ever actually connect with us, right? And so it's encouraging to hear that that's how you found out about us, because sometimes we go to those types of events and we're like, we talked to 1 million people, but how many do we actually connect with? So you guys make it all worthwhile, like that testimony. So so you came that year?
Yes.
And that event, if I'm not mistaken, is like in May, usually, like early May, maybe?
I think it was in the first week of June.
So it was in June, and camp is in June. So you guys...
Well, not that year.
Okay.
It was in July, though.
It was in July. Camp was in July.
Yep.
So you guys just jumped in, like, very quickly. And if I'm not mistaken, that first year has quite the adventure attached to it.
It does.
Because it was not smooth sailing, right? You're like, all right, we're going to camp, signed up, and everything's good to go, right? So how was that first camp experience and getting there?
So Mark still couldn't go. So I did sign up to take all 5 kids by myself. And we were all thrilled, so excited. And the day before camp, Elizabeth came down with a infection that put her in the hospital. And they would not, I asked the doctor, can you just give her some medicine and we'll give it to her there.
Put a Band-Aid on it.
No, they would not release her. So we were devastated. And it was our oldest son's birthday. And so I called Ronnie crying. Because we were just like very devastated. The kids, it was bad.
Yeah.
And so she talked with the team and they prayed about it. And she called me back and said, we have a mom here for you, for your kids if they want to come. And then you can come over when you get discharged. So I left Elizabeth at the hospital with the nurse.
And Elizabeth was, how young was she?
She was 3.
She was 3 years old. And Elizabeth, for those of you that, Elizabeth is your child with disability.
Yes, she's got significant disabilities, nonverbal. And so she was not happy for me to walk out the door.
Right.
But the nurses took good care of her because they had heard me beg the doctor to leave.
Yeah.
And the kids, and Hannah was only 4, maybe she was 5 at the time. And I gave her the choice. I said, you can stay or you can come back with me and come back with Hannah, Elizabeth and I. So the other kids packed their stuff without me, and I went home and got them, and we drove to camp and dropped them. Well, we walked in the front door, and Hannah met her buddy, and she was gone. There was no question. Yes. So then I went back to Elizabeth, and the doctor did have compassion the next day and let us go. And so then Elizabeth and I joined, and it was
so how late? So you were just one day late, or?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if every time I hear this story, I don't know if you're extremely trusting or crazy. Dropping off your kids. You had just met us, right? You had just met Lyft a couple weeks earlier at a random event, and then you drop your kids off.
I do not ever do that. I don't.
I know.
But yes, it was a huge blessing, and that we came home that week, and at the end of the week, and told Mark about it, and he said, if it's half as good as you say, then it ought to be really neat thing. I said, no, it's all the way as good as we say. And so we've been I
was going to ask, have you been every year since then?
Except for one when we went out west on vacation for a month.
Okay. Mark, when did you jump in? Were you there, how long did it take you to?
That was a year afterwards.
Okay, so 2014 was kind of you and all the kids most of the week.
Yeah.
And then 15, Mark, you joined.
Yeah.
So what has been your experience as a dad and the leader of the crew here, at Breakaway, and what's been your big takeaways and why you guys continue to come back? Not maybe your kids wouldn't let you not come at this point, so maybe you don't even have a choice. But what does that mean to you, as a dad, coming to a family camp every year?
Well, one thing is the emphasis is put on Jesus Christ, so that is first priority for me.
Yeah.
And secondarily, the kids learn to serve.
Yeah.
They are buddies at times, and then some of them were being campers, and they were around people that love the Lord, and then they also served under people's direction that love the Lord. And the second thing is it gave my family a breakaway, and working with kids with special needs can be trying at times, and it's nice to have that time to rest and rejuvenate and give yourself a little bit of time to, instead of deal with the day-to-day things that come along, to be able to kind of step back and just be able to pray through and spend time with the Lord. So that was wonderful. And it also helps my wife too, and she goes through just tons of things that I'm working, and she's working at home, and does a fantastic job, and but it's a lot of hard things that she deals with, and so it's nice for her to get a chance to just maybe watch a movie or play with puzzles, or first time I was there, she was making jewelry, and just tons of different types of things that she can do and not be on the job.
Yeah, because all your kids, especially Elizabeth, has a buddy, so you're able to breathe, right, and do what you want. I love every year walking down the hallway, and we have some type of quiet activity room. It's usually for parents, and seeing you guys and doing puzzles together. And a lot of times just the two of you, and it's silent many times in there. It's well, how refreshing that must be to be able to, I think any parent would enjoy a quiet room, right? To just do whatever you want to do, but especially to be able to take a break and just put a puzzle together. How relaxing. Yep. I lose interest in puzzles very quickly, but I know it's therapeutic, right?
It is.
But you guys haven't just been, for a lot of our families, Breakaway is the primary thing that helps us connect with people. But you guys haven't just been a breakaway family.
No.
You've been so much more. And now you guys live in New Smyrna ish. What technically, like, what is that area called? Like,
Volusia County.
Volusia County, which we're based out of Orange County, more central Florida. And so you have been really instrumental in getting our foot in several churches out in the Volusia County area with different events. And I don't even know, this is an interview, but I'm literally like learning stuff as we go, right? So when did we first start like getting our foot in the door? I know you were instrumental in that.
That was 2019. Well, 2018 we started planning for it. And
it was called Boost back then. Yeah.
Yes, Boost, which is now Lift Family Gathering, was started in Volusia County in January of 2019.
Okay.
And we loved that. It is amazing. There's nothing like it over there. And so that went on every month until COVID.
Yeah.
And then of course, along with the rest of the country, we took a COVID break.
Yeah.
And so then we started back up in New Smyrna. We started in Daytona, and then we moved to New Smyrna in...
I'm trying to remember, 2021.
I think it was 2021.
Yeah.
And we were there for a while, and I needed to take a break. And I felt really, really bad because I know how important it is, but we have so much stuff going on at home that I needed to take a break from that. So we did. And now our wonderful friends.
Yes, because of you, that were introduced to Lift because of the Murdochs.
They have Lift Family Gathering at their farm in New Smyrna, and we love going. Yeah. And I'm so thrilled it's back up and running again. Because Boost was before we brought Boost to Volusia County, we would drive to Winter Garden almost every month for it. Yeah. Because it was such a break that we needed. Yeah. And we enjoyed it so much.
And the idea behind those events, for those that are watching, it's basically it's a little slice of camp-ish, right. and as much as you can do in like an hour and a half to 2 hours. Right. But it's a family event also. Like we really believe in getting families together. There's a lot of ministries that do stuff for individuals with disability, but there's not a ton out there that brings the entire family, siblings, caregivers, parents.
Exactly.
And so when we do these events, we bring the whole family together. It's always it's kind of a chapel service, if you would. Like there's usually some singing and teaching and activities and those kind of things. But to see the families do them together. And now it is so unique that the one in New Smyrna now, which even though it's at the Beckman farm, like it's because of you guys, right? Like we wouldn't even know who the Beckmans are without the Murdochs. And it's our most unique one that we do. It's literally on a farm, and every month or every other month we get together, and it's been so fun to see it grow there.
It has.
I think we went. I think the first one we did, we had one family come, and then just 2 later, we had like 45 people registered. It was unreal.
Awesome.
It's unreal. Yep. So people want to go to the farm.
Yep.
So the whole point of one of the points of these videos, you guys have had a tremendous impact on Lift. You're huge advocates, both. Like you guys wave the Lift flag in a lot of different places, and we so appreciate that. There's no marketing like word of mouth, right? And I say marketing, and that sounds like, so business-like. We're family, but and to hear, especially in the disability community, to hear from another family that's invested and saying you have to come do this. I believe it brings down walls and like, oh, like, are they really as good as they say they are, or whatever, but to have a family say, like, we believe in them is really, really valuable for us. And we've seen fruit of that. So you guys have had a huge impact on us, but we would love to hear kind of, and I know we didn't warn you guys what we were talking about, but maybe some of the biggest impacts that Lift has had on you guys personally. I know you shared kind of why you could keep coming back to Breakaway, but what are some of your biggest takeaways and impacts that Lift as a ministry has had on you guys? And it can be specific people maybe that have spoken to your life, or just like, it was the rest. I needed rest.
For me, seeing our kids, and Mark mentioned it earlier, seeing our kids go from being campers to serving is huge. They enjoyed the fruits of being served, but they found the joy in serving others. And this year, we are able to have David and Hannah are at camp, are going to camp to serve as buddies. Mm-hmm. Our two older kids, Jonathan and Amy, are not here serving, but they're serving other places, mm-hmm. and they have been serving here. Yeah. So I feel like this was a launch for mm-hmm. them to learn how much joy you can get from serving others. Mm-hmm. And it is exhausting, but man, it's exhaustion like no other.
It's worth it.
And and now to see them serving out other places also, that does something to a mom's heart that
for sure
you just can't hardly explain. So that is a huge impact on me. And then the rest. We look forward to this week all year long. Elizabeth knows what camp means. Mm-hmm. And she realizes the fun that she's going to have. Mm-hmm. And I don't have to chase her everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I can go sit and do a puzzle and don't have to worry about her coming and swiping it off or whatever. And I could sit in the quiet. I didn't even know I liked quiet.
You've never been there before.
But I do like some quiet sometimes. And I like adult conversation.
Yeah.
So that's,
Nice. What about for you, Mike?
I pretty much said most of my impact statement.
So, yeah, for sure.
I agree sincerely in that we're trying to launch our kids into ministry, and this is definitely a good starting. But even more, I've seen some of our kids come out of their shell here, where it feels like a safe place to be yourself and to be fun and be excited and to be able to express a song or express your feelings and they've been encouraged to do so.
Yeah.
And they've met some pretty crazy fun people, and that has helped them to realize that Christianity is fun. And that you can be the light of the world.
Yeah.
Not only spiritually, but also just having fun.
Yeah. That is that's not like a official pillar of Lift, but we say that all the time. Like, we like to have fun. Like, all of our events. Like, if we walk away, I was like, that's kind of boring. Like, we feel like we didn't hit the mark, And for that point exactly, though, because we do believe that following Jesus should be the most fun thing that you could do. It's an adventure. It's unpredictable. It's certainly not mundane. So we don't want any of our stuff to be mundane either. I gotta say, I've been a part of Breakaway since 2019, and to see your kids transition from camper to buddies has been truly remarkable. And as we're choosing buddy assignments weeks before camp, your kids are all that are serving now. Certain campers require a little bit more. And we always know that there's there's just nothing that we could throw at them that's going to catch them off guard. One, because they've been raised, with Elizabeth, and they've experienced disability day in and day out. But just know, like we trust your kids as buddies. And as we're deciding, we're like, well, there's nothing that we could throw at David that's going to catch him off guard. And so sometimes he gets our campers that just require a little bit more than some of our other campers. And they're at the top of our list. We're like, they can handle this. And he does with flying colors, and all of your kids do. So we're just so proud of them. I know you guys are way more than we are, but we're just so proud to see them mature and grow and serve and love people well. And to know that they started off as these kids that got dropped off at camp and literally didn't know anybody, and now they're our leaders that are making that experience that you experienced in 2014. They're providing that same memory for families in 2024. Like, that's remarkable.
That is.
It's amazing testimony. And I'll just say to you guys, like, kudos. Like, what job well done. And that doesn't just happen accidentally. It's very intentional. So I think you guys have done a fantastic job.
We thank him for helping.
Yeah. So anything else? So you guys feel like you're just like, oh man, we're doing this interview, I got to say this, and you don't have to. No.
I think
Okay,
I'm good.
that was pretty thorough, right?
You hit all the big stories.
Well, thank you guys for coming in and being a part of this celebration. It really is a celebration, but it has been a walk down memory lane for the Lift team. I know, especially Jim and Ronnie. They launched this in 1998, and so the stories, first employees, the first volunteers, has been really, really remarkable. And you begin to realize, like, man, the Lord has used Lift in tremendous ways, and we pray that this is just the beginning, right?
Yes.
25
Yes.
more to come and beyond. But thank you guys for being a part of the Lift family.
Thank you.
We always say,
Remind us.
like it's not a program, like we're family, and we really do view you guys as part of the Lift family.
Appreciate it. We love
thanks for
being
coming
part
on.
of the family. Thank
Thank you to Jim and Ronnie and the Lift family for making an impact in our lives.
It's our pleasure.
Yep.
you.
Well, thank you guys for watching along. This is just one of 25, and we look forward to sharing more stories. But hopefully, you guys were encouraged. If your family's impacted by disability, I think the Murdochs would love to chat with you. Maybe like you should plug in, and we would love for you to be a part of our family as well. Thanks so much for listening.